said, the soaring economy has had a particularly harsh effect on the immigrant residents of your district. Most of the members of our community are now underemployed and some do not have jobs at all. At the same time, many immigrants do not qualify for federal benefits designed to help throughout tough times and cannot seek assistance at workforce development centers such as Workforce One. Also because they do not qualify for services. How will you ensure that money set aside for workforce development also reach the immigrant residents of your district? What will you do to generate job training programs that are appropriate for immigrant community members and do not have requirements that these community members cannot meet?
It's a question, business-oriented question. All these candidates sitting next to me never ever had an experience in doing business. In order to create job, you have to have business. Small business is the key to the economy. The small business cannot flourish because astronomical amount of taxes and all these convoluted violations and the convoluted government things make them to get out of the business. If you don't have business, the communities is talking about new immigrants because they don't have English. They have to start some low-paying job. In order to do that, the business has to improve in this district. That is what I'm doing it in Roosevelt Avenue and bringing to Broadway, because we are going to have business improvement district, thereby thousands of new jobs be created.
Thank you very much. I have a little correction for you, Stanley. I actually do have experience in the business community. I'm very, very proud to sit on the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Queens. And they do very, very important work in this community. But I also, I do think your question is important. I have worked very, very closely with the Jackson Heights Merchants Association for years. And I think the former president, Shiv Das, is here, and I think we should give him a round of applause for all the work that he's done. Thank you, Shiv. Thank you, Shiv. Thank you. I think it's extremely important that anybody that is living here or that calls this area home deserves a fair wage, and they also deserve to be trained to do the work that they want to do. And I think it's extremely important that we go out and we try to protect the workers, especially the day laborers that are on Roosevelt Avenue, and to make sure that they are safe and that they're being treated with respect. And I think that that's going to be the number one thing that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to be very proud to work with you on it as well. Thank you very much.
Jobs, jobs, jobs. That is the issue. That's what's on the table. If you don't have a job and you're not earning money, anything else doesn't matter really, because you've got to support yourself and your families. And how do we do that? How do we train? How do we train those who need jobs? You have to get development. You have to be able to have the workforce to do that. And you need the money and the organizations to see that they train in an efficient way so that you can get a job. We do that in the city council. Where does the money come from? And where does it stay in a bank? It doesn't. It gets out into the communities. And where I disagree with those here at the table today, because the money comes back into the 25th district. It comes back in the way of job training. There are more CBOs in the 25th district that are training, that are teaching English as a second language. And in terms of the day laborers, finally a report was issued by the mayor, because the very first hearing in the city council was my bill. The second hearing was that a commission was formed to treat everyone fairly, and soon you will see what will happen with that. Everyone deserves a job.
Okay, thank you. And just before I get to that, to answer that question, I just want to ask the other members of the panel to commit to not accepting money from real estate interest or from developers, because I think that that's one of the biggest problems that we have here, is that they commit to those types of interests and then they cannot really follow through on their word. In regard to the jobs, and specifically in regard to the day laborers, I was appalled at the police arrest of the day laborers on 69th Street. It was a terrible situation. These are people who go out every single day, and what do they want to do? They want to earn an honest living. They don't want to commit crime. They don't want to do anything except go out and they want to earn an honest living. And what happens to them oftentimes is that they are abused, they are not paid, the people who they work for are taking advantage of them. So what do we need to do? We need to ensure that we have jobs, and I think specifically what we need to do is to work with our unions. Many of the unions now are working to create green jobs so that the workforce can be trained to work in these types of fields. I also agree that we should have small businesses and promote small businesses in the area, which would also bring additional jobs to the area. Wow, that goes quick.